Hey guys, here we are, January 2022. Happy New Year to everybody. Cannot believe we're here in another new year. So this will be the last time you see our 2021 market forecast logo. Matter of fact, I probably should have swapped that out now, but the data we are talking about today is basically year-end 2021. So we'll focus on some December numbers, we'll focus on the last 12 months, and then like we've been doing, we're going to focus on the prior 24 months. Absolutely ridiculous numbers. Ridiculous in a good way, but I got to tell you, we are in a market that is unsustainable. We'll talk more about that in a minute. So let's jump right in. So here we are. Oh, our 2022 forecast. I got to tell you, by the way, today is January 8th, just so we can date stamp this. Coronavirus, Omicron, it's running rampant, as you all know. It's difficult to get venues and get stuff locked in. Our intention is to do a live event. We'll see what happens. At a minimum, we will do what we did last year, which was our virtual/live event. So stand by. We'll have it nailed down here shortly. So what are we going to do? Inland Southern California. That's our theme if you've been watching us for the last 6 months. We'll talk a little bit about interest rates. Yes, we're finally starting to see those interest rates go up. So for those of you that thought they never would, well, they are. So we'll give you some numbers on that. And eviction moratorium, I'm not going to do a separate eviction moratorium update today because frankly there was really nothing new to talk about. However, probably next month I'm going to bring in Barry O'Connor or another eviction attorney to sit back and tell us what we can expect at the end of March. We will be seeing some movement and some change come March 31st because that's when the existing law is basically set to expire and sunset. I have a feeling it's not going to happen. Broken record, I know. So let's just jump right in. So we're going to start off with the 3 counties, LA, Riverside, San Bernardino combined, median price, broken record, I know, same thing we've been doing for the last several months. This is your 12-month chart. All these charts are going to look the same. I get it, so I'm going to spend less time on the charts and more time on the numbers. But again, we did see this little bit of a pullback here, and then they said, no, we're not going to pull back in the last month of the year, and our December numbers are up for the 3 counties combined. This is the 12-month chart. Again, this is where we kind of saw that peak and then a little bit of a flattening, but again, the numbers are still up, and that did end the year at a higher number. So where are we? Median price, LA, Riverside, San Bernardino County, $635, 16.5% increase. A year ago it was $545, 2 years ago it was $480. That's 32% in the last 2 years and 16.5% in the last 12 months. You will see a theme. Obviously, I've looked at this presentation before. I'm presenting it now. I think these are actually the lowest year over year and year over 2 years numbers that you're going to see. In other words, everything you're going to see, I believe, is going to be bigger than 16.5 and bigger than 32%, which is why how I started this. These numbers are great. If you own real estate, you're excited, property values are going up. But guys, we cannot continue to do 15, 16, 20% year over year appreciation. It just does not work. It is unsustainable. I don't like using the word unsustainable because that is a word I have used in previous years back and decades back, and normally that's led to bad things. So, supply and demand, 3 counties. We continue to have our inventory problems. Yes, did we get a pronounced drop in active inventory in the 3 counties? Of course we did. Is that a surprise? No, because we always get these huge drops. It's just more painful. And I know this is a broken record for those of you who've been watching this every month since we started this. Lance, you're kind of saying the same thing. I get it. I'm saying the same thing because that's kind of the trend. This is what we're looking at. But again, just a huge drop month over month. We were unhappy last month. This is November of 2021. Inventory was low. And wow, we certainly weren't any happier in December. But the pendings are up and the solds are up. I did put the solds back up this month. For those of you that are really paying attention, we're going to focus on that just a little bit on some of these other charts. So this is the 12-month chart for the 3 counties. So what does it mean from a supply and demand standpoint? If you really paid attention to last month's video, I emphasized one point a couple of times. You're going to see that same point emphasized again. So what's the point? Give me a second. 18,300 properties for sale in the 3 counties. That's 22% fewer homes than a year ago and 36% fewer homes than 2 years ago. Yes, broken record. I get it. Some homes sold, 6,914 homes in escrow, not sold, in escrow. Sold means closed, buyers have moved in. Pending means in escrow, buyers and sellers waiting to close escrow. So here's that emphasis again. 25% more sales from 2 years ago, on 36% less inventory. That was that thing that kept jumping out at me a month ago. Well, that trend continues. So as much as we're griping about low inventory levels, or if you're a buyer and you're griping about, hey, I can't get my offers accepted, we get it. But the reason you can't get your offers accepted is because there's 25% more people that actually are in the marketplace that are getting their offers accepted, which again, makes perfect sense. Connect the dots. Fewer houses, more people interested, higher prices. That tends to all jive. If you're just looking at what happened in the last 12 months, however, was only, actually, if we sold a little bit fewer, 0.08% fewer homes sold from December to December. Okay, this is 2 years ago, 25% more. And the last 12 months, we were, for all intents and purposes, flat. So these are your 3 county numbers. Let's take a look at LA County all by itself. Again, similar charts. I'm going to go past this. This is just more for the visual here real fast. This is your 12-month, that same little spike, thank you, that we saw earlier in the year. A little bit of flattening, but look what happened in December. You know, if we thought, hey, we're going to see a pullback, you know, which normally it would not be unusual to see a pullback in median price in September, let's say October, November, December, meaning you actually see property values pull back a little bit. A lot of people see that in the fourth quarter of any given year and like, oh my gosh, the market's going to crash. It does that all the time. We started to pull back a little bit, and then in December we said, nope, we ain't pulling back. Why? Low inventory, high demand, and here we are. So what are the numbers for LA County? 780,000, 15% more than a year ago. That number was a year ago 675, 2 years ago 602, almost 30% appreciation in 2 years for the whole county combined. Keep in mind with LA County, and this is true for all of the counties, that includes your multi-million dollar property in Malibu, or just your regular run-of-the-mill single-family house anywhere in LA County, first-time buyer. So that's that medium all lumped in. Supply and demand, again, broken record. Look at this cratering of active listings. It is what it is. The pendings and the solds are pretty much flat. 12 months, same charts. So what are we looking at in LA County? About 10,500 houses for sale. 29, call it 30% less than 12 months ago. 34% less than 2 years ago. And again, here's our contrast. 34% fewer houses than 2 years ago, sold 22% more. Same thing. So what does that equate to? That equates to higher property values. So median price in Riverside, charts are going to look the same, so I'm going to keep on rolling. Although if you want to see a little distinction in Riverside, we got a little bit flatter, and then we got a little bit more aggressive the last 2 months. November and December, Riverside County, prices even went up even more than in LA County, at least as a percentage. 12-year chart, it is what it is. So what are we looking at? 20%, 21% appreciation in the last 12 months. That's 555 compared to 559 a year ago. And 42%, like I sold a minute ago, man, those other numbers might be low. Riverside County, 2-year appreciation, 42.3%. Woo! I mean, it's crazy. So 2 years ago, you could have bought the median price for $390. Not anymore. $555. Assuming my math is done correctly, that's a 42.3% appreciation in 2 years. Unsustainable. Okay? Now, I'm not predicting crashes, but we cannot continue to do 20+% appreciation year over year. At some point, that party has to end. Supply and demand. So again, broken record, broken chart, just crashing inventory levels. Not a huge surprise, but it is what it is. If you say, wait a minute, what do you think is going to happen? Let's see what happened next year. This is last year. Here we are, the red bar inventory. Well, guess what happened? We started to add a little bit more in January, a little bit more in February, and March, April, May, June, and we basically started to add inventory. So if we trend the same way as we did last year, when I do the January report, which we'll be doing the first week in February, maybe I'll be able to sit back here and this little red bar will be a little bit higher than the one we're looking at right now. That's possible. I wouldn't necessarily bet on it. I think that's a 50-50 shot for me for as far as what I think is going to happen. So again, this is our supply and demand. 12 months for Riverside, supply county. 12 months, that was 24 months. This is 12 months. So what does it mean? 4,000 properties were for sale. That's 10% fewer than a year ago and almost 40% fewer than 2 years ago. Again, the craziness. 39.5% fewer houses for sale than 2 years ago. Sold 30.8% more homes. Nuts. All right, next up should be San Bernardino. What do we got in San Bernardino? Similar looking charts. We'll just blow right past that. Similar looking chart for median. And what is the median? 500,000 even in the county of San Bernardino. 19% increase from 12 months, which was 420. 2 years ago, 370, and a 35% increase for 2 years ago. Again, nice, but unsustainable. We just, at some point, this party has to slow down. Not end, but has to slow down. Supply and demand in San Bernardino, similar charts, just cratering active inventory, red bar, 12-month chart for San Bernardino County. And where are we with San Bernardino County? Only 3,700 homes that were basically for sale. That was on the market at least one day in the month of December for the entire county. That's 10% fewer than a year ago, almost 40% fewer than 2 years ago. But again, here's my contrast. We sold 25.8% more houses on almost 40% fewer homes than we did 2 years ago. One of the reasons I think that's a big deal, because I'm calling this pre-COVID. Okay, this was December of 2019. This is December of 2019, even though I guess COVID, was kind of out there a little bit, but I don't think any of us really knew what the heck was going on until, probably February or certainly March of 2020. So these numbers here are pre-COVID numbers, and we're just crushing it, absolutely crushing it. All right, so median price. I picked our spotlight city, the city of Redlands. I happen to have an office in Redlands, so for those of you that need some help in Redlands, we can help you. So I pulled Redlands. Last month I did Corona. I think I said, oh my God, Corona is setting the record of all the cities we've looked at. Well, stand by. Here comes Redlands. By the way, Redlands is a small bedroom community. The data samples are much, much smaller. So when we get into these small little cities and these pockets, the numbers can just go crazy because the data samples are smaller. So here we are with Redlands, 12-month median price, 24-month. This is the 12-month. Wait a minute, Lance, what's this? Well, what that is a smaller data sample. Smaller data samples, these charts they tend to bounce all over. They don't kind of get those nice, smooth little ups, or quite honestly, those small, smooth downtrends. You'll start to see this choppiness, and that's pretty common. So at any rate, what does this mean for the city of Redlands? Well, what it means for the city of Redlands is median price is just under $590, okay? That is a 19.3% increase from a year ago, which was $494. Oh, and by the way, a 47% increase from 2 years ago, which is $410. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, we'll have to go back and take a look at we did Rancho Cucamonga 2 months ago, and we did Corona last month. I don't think either one of those cities were at a 47% appreciation in 2 years. So I think this is our new champion on the 2-year appreciation number. So just, big numbers. I mean, just absolutely big numbers. So supply and demand in Redlands, though, again, small data sample, so let's be careful. We still see the decrease in inventory, broken record, I get it. 12-month chart, very similar. Only 113 houses, guys. We're only 113, so again, small data sample, but that's a 28% fewer than a year ago, 42% fewer than 2 years ago. And wait a minute, do you notice something different? Well, let's point it out because I've been making a big deal about it. Well, we've actually been selling fewer houses in the city of Redlands. So from 12 months ago, we sold 25% fewer houses. And then from 2 years ago, we sold 6% fewer houses. Those other charts were not that. The other charts had a big negative number here and a big positive number down here. That's not happening in Redlands. So that old saying, all real estate is local, it's absolutely local. So when you sit here and say, oh my gosh, I have a home in San Bernardino County and the values are up, or I have a home in LA County, that's county. So Redlands is San Bernardino County. That's not what San Bernardino County looks like. These numbers are way underperforming in San Bernardino County. When I say underperforming, the number of units sold. The price is still super strong. What did we just say the price was? Let me go back a second. The price was 47% increase in 2 years, sitting on 589,000. So you're happy with that. However, when you look at the actual number of units that are sold in that particular market, let's face it, if you are a real estate agent watching this video right now, and you are dependent upon selling units, Well, this doesn't feel good because we're selling fewer houses, even though the prices are up. So there's our snapshot for the city of Redlands. And who knows, we'll keep this going next month and we'll pick a city. Interest rates. All right, so let's take a look. I've been leaving up the charts from when we started this. So the very first, I think, we might have started one prior to August, but this is the chart that I saved. So August 6th, this comes straight from Freddie Mac's website. It's the exact same slide I showed at the August 6th market snapshot video that we did. This is the number that we're looking at. You can forget about the rest of the chart. Just focus on this 2.8%. The following month in September, we were 2.88%. The following month in October, 2.99%, call it 3. The following month, really relatively unchanged in November. And then here we are in December. Last month, 3.11, a little bit of an increase. And Shazam, I just pulled this one up. This is as of today, again, is January 8th. This came off of Freddie Mac's website. I believe the actual target date on that is like 3 days old. So let's just call it January 5th. All right. So 3.22. So hey, you know what? It doesn't seem like that big of a shift, but when we just first started doing this 5-6 months ago, we were basically at 2.8. So we're almost a half a point higher on Freddie Mac's chart than we were before. The conventional wisdom, I don't follow the conventional wisdom because it's been wrong for a very, very long time as it relates to predicting interest rates. But pretty much everybody, and if you disagree, you know, DM me or something, let me know, is saying, hey, we're going to be looking at higher interest rates. We're in an inflationary economy right now. What do you do with that? Well, you should expect higher interest rates. The Fed chair has already come out in the December Fed meeting, and if I may be mistaken, call me out if I am, they're saying right now they're going to have 3 interest rate, Fed funds rate increases in 2022. That seems... Actually, if we only got away with 3, I think we should probably be fortunate. Of course, the question is well, what are they going to be? Are they going to be 0.25% interest rate, or are they going to be 50 basis points, which would be a half a point on the Fed's funds rate? So we shall see. But the bottom line is interest rates are definitely creeping forward. So for those of you buyers out there, you're like, oh my gosh, you know, I think values are going to crash, or things are too hot, or I'm going to wait, or it's hard to buy a home. I've written a bunch of offers and I'm just buyer fatigue. I want to check out. I understand all of that, although I disagree with crashing property values. I do think we need to see some slowdown here. But this is why you still need to go out and buy, because these interest rates are going up. And every time they go up, your buying power is going down. And even though we're seeing interest rate increases and interest rate in the low 3s or mid 3s or even high 3s is phenomenal. So if you're buying right now, I want you to just cancel out all the other noise and focus on one thing and one thing only. This is my interest rate. Can I find a house that I can actually get under contract? If you can, buy it. Okay, I think, I might have a small slide. Yeah, I do. Okay, we're not going to do the eviction moratorium. Really, nothing has changed. March 31st is going to be a big, big day, and the lead up to March 31st on what's actually happening in the state of California with the eviction moratorium. So stand by, watch the news, watch us. We'll keep you up to date as we know. And I think this is my thank you slide. It is. So thank you for watching our market forecast, or in this case, our market snapshot. We're going to continue to do these every single month throughout the year of 2022, and keep an eye on our 2022 market forecast. Economists, professionals, industry pros, all the rest of that. And anyway, hope to see you here next month. And our forecast will be sometime in March. I don't have the exact date yet, but stand by. We'll be nailing it down quickly. Have a good one, and Happy New Year.